Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to the walkthrough of my newest video, Selective Colors, number 2. If you haven't seen it already, I'll leave a link in the description below. You can go and check it out. It's part 2 in a series called Selective Colors, where I kind of mess around with the colors inside Counter-Strike, as well as move them about a bit, change them, and I use quite a few different techniques. So the aim of this video is I'm just going to take you through how I've done selective colors, and then in the future I'll be bringing out a few more tutorials which will be more aimed towards teaching you how to do it. So here I'm kind of just showing you what was done. If you're interested in learning and being able to do it with your own videos, then hit subscribe on the channel because they will be coming up. So first of all, we'll hop into After Effects. Now when I'm working in After Effects, I like to keep it nice and clean because it can, on the side here, get very messy. For instance, all these comps, these are all the different compositions we've got, and they're all just loose. If they were all just loose, you know, it'd be horrible to try and manage, because then you've got final comps as well, plus all the footage. Inside each one of these footage folders, there's 3 more layers: depth, matte, and world, and then you've got solids, which are pretty much just flashes and fades, and then all the different templates. Now the templates here, the way that I worked on my workflow kind of with this, originally I would head into Vegas because it's really easy to use. You can see I imported the song, cut it all down in Adobe Audition, cut all the song down, got it all timed up to what I wanted it to be, and then I'd import it into here. And originally I had it so each beat was lined up with a marker, and with that marker I was then able to obviously make a different color flash on each beat. So then once I had all the beats lined up and I had all the timing done, I would then go through and region out each of the different sections. So this bit here is from when they first inspecting the knife. That's the second inspect knife they've got, and then you've got a third kind of region here, and that's the player cinematics, and then you got another cinematic, skins, player throwing grenades, and then the map cinematics and the outro. So they're all kind of lined up quite nicely, and so all the regions allowed me to literally just select that, render, and then when it rendered, it would head over to here, into the renders, and then Vegas, and all these here are different like renders. So I'll show you a quick example. Let's go with the outro. So you can see the color flashes with each of the different beats, and this was just a part where the clip had gone in first as well. So you can see, so by doing that, when I imported it into here, for this one for instance, I would then just drag whichever template that was, drag it onto the bottom, and it allowed me to time up things perfectly with it, in terms of like flashing the colors on and off, or following the nade, or the claps, or whatever, transitions. So it all worked quite nicely in that sense. I also need to render out a few of these as, see, like that would be sick as a wallpaper, but yeah, I'll render some of these out and put some links maybe. So that's kind of a lay down as to how that was kind of tidied together. Now, one of the biggest things is how to get the color to change. So I think the best option for this would be to show the karambit at the start. So let's have a look. So knives, you can see each of these compositions are then pre-composed, so they're all wired off into their different locations. So for instance, the intro, you've got the start composition, which has got the intro, cinematic 1, 2, and 3 or 4. Inside of here, then you've got the transition layers, which adjusts all the different transitions. You've got the intro, that's the template in the background there, and all the different cinematics, as well as the intro at the start. And then inside of that, you've got another composition that leads on. So cinematic 1, for instance, if we were to head into that one, that's just got the layers of the cinematic. So if I set this to full, we can turn off depth of field with that adjustment layer at the top there. We can turn off the world and just leave the players. We can turn on the depth so you can kind of see it. And then the world literally just has, let's see, where are we? The world literally just has a black and white. So if I was to take that off, you'd see it spawns into color. So that was quite simple in terms of doing that. Obviously, then they got pre-composed, put into start. That then got pre-composed, put into intro. So that's kind of workflow in terms of how the compositions line up with each other. We've then got knives. So if we go on to the karambit, which I think was one of the most asked questions, literally the video has been up for, well, it was up at about 2 o'clock this morning. I uploaded it. And I mean, it's pretty crazy how much it's taken off. Like this is already, all these figures here have already beaten the first one. Where's the first one? There's 76 comments, 230 likes, 4 dislikes, 110 comments, 281 likes, and 18 dislikes. So, you know, it's taken off pretty well, and my subscribers has also skyrocketed. So I want to thank everyone who's who's subscribed from there. It's pretty cool. So inside the knives, then let's have a look. As same layout as the cinematics, you've got the template on the bottom. You've got knife 1, knife 2. The direct is the directional blur. So you'll see on the 1, it sparks up a blur like that, and then on 3 as well, there's also a bit of a blur, just to help with transitions. So if we move to a space where we can see the knife nice and clearly, and head into knife 1. This is where it all this is where the magic happens, if you like. So let's skip down to the end. As you can see here, the background is black and white as usual. And we actually have the foreground color, so the player model hand and the knife are in color. Now, the way that I've done this is kind of, you know, it works on skins that have like really vibrant, clear colors. So the tiger tooth, for instance, was perfect for this, because if I take this key light off, you can see that it's just the normal color. So if I was to scrub along, you can see it just stays that color the whole time, the normal tiger tooth color. So the way that I got around doing that was I would duplicate this one, this whole layer here. So if I hide this one, you can see that one's up on top. This bottom layer had a hue and saturation attached to it, which if I turn on and off there, you can see, but that affected the whole layer. So you can see the player's arms changing color. It's, you know, it's not quite what you want, really. It looks a bit gimmicky like that. So with the top layer, I use 2 key lights. So one key light gets rid of the green screen, so that gets rid of the green screen, and then this key light here is keyed to the color of the tiger tooth, so that then just gets rid of that orange color, which then just reveals the layer beneath it. So if I was to get rid of that, you can see that it's like a see-through knife almost, which would be pretty badass, like a glass knife or something. But you can see it acts as it being invisible. So it's only until the bottom layer comes on that has the color in it that you can actually see the weapon. But that's the most basic terms of doing that kind of color correction. I'll take you on to see the where we're looking at the outro we want to go to here. See, we've got final comps, these green ones here. Any comp with a green was rendered out final and put into this project to be rendered together. So that's what the green means on them. So this one, for instance, let's have a look. So in end, here we go. So this is the end outro and the birthday layer. Now, this birthday layer was a little bit tricky, I'm not going to lie, because I couldn't really do the same technique because there's a lot of colors actually in this scene. Which one are we looking at here? You can see there's a lot of colors, and there are a lot of the same colors. So if I was to, I don't know, key out the red, for instance, that would probably get rid of this roof as well. And you know, unless I adjusted it perfectly, maybe a bit of the orange, maybe a bit of this wall here, because it's not really super efficient. So my aim here was I needed to use a plugin called Leave Color, which is actually just inside of After Effects. And what this does is it allows you to pick whip a color. So in this instance, I took the eyedrop tool and picked the color blue there, and you can discolor that scene by up to 100%, depending on what that color is there. So if I get rid of that, you can actually see we've got a mask around it at the moment, because there's the sky's blue, there's a bit of the ground here that's blue, there's some over here on the building that's blue. So without that mask, it would also leave those parts of the blue as well. Can I get rid of this mask? If I delete the mask, you can see, so it would have left those, it would have left the building, would have left this box here, but with that mask it just confined that area for that layer to the top. And the reason you can still see the rest of it is because we've got this layer on the underneath there. So we need to get rid of those, so you can see it's just that one on the top. So throughout it all, that mask follows that balloon, and it doesn't matter that it clips into the red there, because we're only leaving the color blue, remember. So that mask follows the whole balloon all the way through its scene there, and it's at that point that the beat changes and it swaps to red. And you can see with the red again, we've got another mask that just masks out the balloons, and the same with the yellow as well. It's just a mask that masks out the yellow part of the balloon, and I had to make that one quite close because the bushes behind it are actually like a greeny yellowy kind of thing, so it was kind of contrast, and it was picking up a bit of those as well. But that worked pretty well in that instance. We'll turn on the leave color back on there so we don't mess that up too much. But yeah, that's the essence of that one. These are all recorded as TGAs, by the way. So these, where it's just like a cinematic, that would have been recorded with a simple, whatchamacallit? Bugger, forgot. Oh, my brain has been thinking way too much this past weekend. So this was my cinematic packs. If you haven't seen my cinematic packs, I've made like big cinematic packs for each map that was in the active duty. So they've got 25 cinematics for each map pack, or for each map that was in the active duty, as well as 50 cinematics for the new nuke as a release. So it was when it came out. So a ton of resources for you to play with. I think there must be close to about 350 cinematics, all available on my channel. You can go to my cinematics playlist. I'll leave a link in the description. You can just download them all from the links below, so you can have a play around with something like this if you want. So the end, we had that for the selective colors, but there again with this, it was just a case of leaving that part of the color out. You can see it's picked up the lilies and some of the leaves, and obviously just the text changes as well, and that snaps in and off on the beat. So the way that was done was the leave color amount. Remember, I said you can change it from 0 to 100. Basically on the beat, it just changed from 0 to 100 within a frame, and then back to 0 within a frame. So that kind of made the flashing kind of technique. And then the thanks for watching bit with the walls again, flashing black and white on the beat, and then this black solid on the top here is just to fade it out. So the opacity goes from 0 to 100 here, just to simulate a fade. So that's how the outro was made. The knife transitions, which one are we looking at here? Okay, so this was quite an interesting one. This was actually, believe it or not, the first clip that I did for this project. I was in an MM game it was me, Joel, Jamie, Doolan, and Callum. We were sat there, and I said, everyone stay in spawn. Joel, run forwards and inspect your knife. And that's exactly what he did. He ran forwards, inspected his knife, which you can see is this bit here. He flips it up. That's the original colour. And then again, if we go into knife layers, you can kind of see it's all been broken down a bit. So you've got the green hand. So that's kind of just same technique used as before. So if we were to get rid of the layer beneath, you can see the hand gets kind of disappeared, which is the difference between them, is the fact that I did this one slightly different, up the gain on it a bit, so it wasn't specific to that color, and just keyed out the back. So when the top layer changes, You know, you can see down here it changes as well, and around the handle, so it's a bit more authentic looking instead of literally just the knife changing. And then there's another kind of sick screenshot thing. If you want me to, leave a comment and I will render out some of these as like wallpapers, like screenshot wallpapers at like 1080p 4K or whatever, and you can use them on your desktop because they look pretty sick. But yeah, so with this, the channel range is the thing that was changing. So when it hit 1, you can see that we've got, where are we? You can see that we've got channel range. These keyframes are changing every time we go over them. So they're at 51 at the moment. Oh, but it's still at 51 there. Okay. Which one are we looking at? No, it is the channel range that's changing. That's really confused me because I'm looking at completely different things. But on each beat, you can see it changes on the keyframe. So 1 changes, 2 changes, 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes back to being normal-ish. Oh no, it was 7. It goes back to normal. And then on the 8th one, which is around here, it begins to fade out and go back to what it was before. So that was pretty cool. Map cinematics, relatively the same with these. So let's have a look. Map Cine 1, you can see these are just MP4s because these are also part of the cinematic packs that I release. So same thing with the leave color this time. So this time we're leaving red, leaving yellow, flashing it all up completely, so that one doesn't have any effects on it, and then back to black and white there. So that one's just got back to black. That's a tire shine. What am I trying to think of? Black and white, and then leave color as well, just to emphasize it a bit more red. So that one looks quite nice. That's the outro. We've looked at the intro, I think, with these cinematics. The nade deal, this one was quite good as well. So obviously it flashes on and off color. The way that was done was simply to change the world layer. So this one obviously doesn't have any effects on it. That one has black and white. That one doesn't. That one has black and white, so it kind of flashes in between. And I used Twixtor on this layer to make sure that the speed was set right. So you can see it comes down from, where are we? 750 here, 750% speed, all the way down to 100. Each time on the beat, flashing the different colors. And then on here, it goes all the way up to, what did I set it to in the end? 304, because that's the exact time that he shoots the bullet to hit the player, which you can actually see over here. That's a player, believe it or not. And if we go forwards a frame or two, you'll actually be able to see, there you go, he's been dinked. And that's where he was killed. So, quite gnarly. See, that would make a nice background as well. So yeah, that's kind of that one as well. That one was pretty good. Skin changes is another one. Now, if you actually pay really close attention on the video, you will notice that both this skin, which is the Jaguar, I want to say, and the aquamarine here, if you actually zoom in, you can see that these are kind of transparent, which I didn't notice until I uploaded it. And someone was like, shit, yeah, those colors look really washed out. And I was like, yeah. And I can tell you exactly why, because what I didn't realize when I was fucking grinding these out was that the skin layers, so let's have a look. These ones here, that's actually got part of green in that design. And on here, the key light gets rid of green. So if I turn the key light off, you can see all the color comes back. Turn the key light on, gets washed out again. So, yeah, this is actually partly see-through. You can see it a bit there. But, just, yeah. So, I honestly didn't notice that until it came up as well. So, that's pretty crazy. But, yeah, with that, I recorded several different layers. So, if I go into... By the way, this whole project... if we have a look, 174 gigabytes in total, so that was pretty crazy. They're all the final renders, so they're the big renders. I also rendered a few screenshots out. That was the background for the thumbnail. But they're all the big ones. So that's 1.17 gigs. Sorry, my phone just went off. You got, wait. Hatton Games just commented on the video. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Well, thank you, Hatton Games, for bloody hell. I was thinking, you know, YouTube notification. I never get them, but that's mad. Wow. Okay. So let's have a look. Where was I? The layer mats. So you can see in here we've got each of the different layers. So we've got AK Aquamarine, literally just recorded as TGA files. And then we've also got obviously Cartel, Jaguar, Redline, Vulcan, and the Wasteland. So how I did this again was put the template in, line them all up with the colors, and then on each of the beats, literally just I lined up all the whatchamacallits. I seriously can't think now. Right, I lined up all the different layers, all the different skins, and so on each of the beats, the layer above appeared itself and the layer below like removed, and then changes on each one. So 1 second. Sister just came home from school and she's getting rowdy. I'll have to go head butter. I'm joking, by the way. That was a joke. Please. So yeah, it changes on each of the beats, which is pretty crazy. It's not rendering too quick because I've got it on full, but yeah. So, but this puts a massive load on your computer, by the way, because it's rendering depth of field, it's rendering green screen layers, it's rendering 2 layers of a map that you know is not normal. It's doing key light, it's doing the old shebang this, so it's pretty crazy. But that's the skin change. That's how that was done. I've got a tutorial on how to change your skins, which you can find on my movie making playlist, which is in the description. So if you want to know how to swap out the code in order to get different skins in your games, check that out. I'll leave a link below. But other than that, I think that's it. Again, templates, footage, all the different footages. So the stock, that's just where I put like my intro, the different cinematics and stuff. Skin change. Yeah, so yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it. So if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. As I said, I'll be releasing a more in-depth kind of detailed tutorial on how exactly to do the hue and saturation and bits like that. So you know, if you want to learn how to do this to apply it to your own videos, then subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for those because they will be upcoming. It's just a case of, you know, waiting for them to come. Because as soon as I can get them recorded, get them edited, uploaded, sooner the better, really. So yeah, stay tuned for those. Hope you enjoyed the video though. It's, you know, it took about 35 hours to make in total and used up 174 gigabytes on the hard drive, so it's a pretty big project. Selective Colors 1 actually took up over 300 gigabytes, so you know, we're not that bad, but yeah, so that's that, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. As I said, it took me quite a while, so it's nice to have it out there now, you know, nice to be done with it. But I'm hoping the finished project is obviously quite good. So yeah, if this helps at all, leave a comment, leave a like. If you're new here, subscribe. Go have a look at some of the vids. Pretty gnarly. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, day, morning or afternoon. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Toodaloo.